Hi there, and thanks for tuning in. Today's notes is going to be about lesson 16.3, the quotient of powers property. Just an FYI, you need to have 1 through 9 numbered in your notes. Those are going to be the 9 things that you look at. It's not a ton of writing, but it's a lot of trying some examples, and it's actually really pretty simple. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to have to ask you to watch this. So these are basically what you're going to be seeing today. The same exponents, or sorry, the same bases, just in a fraction form. And we're going to see real quick what happens whenever we put it in repeated multiplication form, and then how we can write that as a power. We notice we have 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 2nd. This is what that looks like. Okay, so I have 4 2's and 2 2's. How I can write this as a simplified number, notice how I can, if I have a 2 on the top, I can also cancel out with 1 on the bottom because 2 over 2 is equal to 1. I'm going to do that for these as well, so all I have left are 2 2's. That means 2 to the 4th over 2 to the 2nd is equal to 2 to the 2nd. Let's look at this one. Negative 4 to the 5th power over negative 4 to the 2nd. This is what that looks like. Here I have 5 negative 4's on the top and 2 negative 4's on the bottom, exactly what the fraction said. Like I did in the first example, I can take 1 off the top and 1 off the bottom. All that's left are 3 negative 4's, so negative 4 to the 5th power over negative 4 to the 2nd power is equal to negative 4 to the 3rd power. What do you think is going to happen to 7 to the 7th power over 7 to the 3rd? That's right, you'll have 7 7's over 3 7's. When you cancel 1 over on the top and 1 on the bottom, you're left with 4 7's. Here is the rule of how to do the quotient of powers property, and this is the part that you're going to copy in your notes. You're going to copy the words and the number example. If you want to copy the algebra, you can, but go ahead and take the time to pause and write down words and numbers. Once you're done, click play to try some questions. So here are some examples that I'm going to do. What you just found out is that anytime you have the same base and they are written as a fraction or a quotient, you can just subtract the exponent. So for number 1, I would do 5 to the 9th minus 6. That's going to give me 5 to the 3rd. For number 2, 4 to the 8th minus to the 4th is 4 to the 4th. For number 3, 2.5 to the 5th minus the 2nd will be 2.5 to the 3rd. See how easy this is? Again, same type of concept here. 10.1 to the 7th over 10.1 to the 3rd is 10.1 to the 4th. Number 5, negative 2 to the 7th over negative 2 to the 6th. You can write two things, either negative 2 to the 1st or just negative 2. Mean the same exact thing. Number 6, we have negative 5 to the 12th over negative 5 to the 10th. That's going to be negative 5 to the 2nd. On this page, you have some questions to try. You're going to take the time now to pause the video, try the questions. Once you're done, click play to see if your answers are correct. All right, here are the answers. 2 to the 6th over 2 to the 4th is 2 to the 2nd. Number 3 should be negative 7 to the 6th. Make sure that negative 7 is in parentheses, otherwise it'd be incorrect. H to the 7th over h to the 6th can either be h to the 1st or just h. Number 5 will be 9 to the 3rd. 6 will be 4.2 to the 1st in parentheses or just 4.2. Number 7 will be negative 8 in parentheses to the 4th power. And number 8 should be x to the 5th. How did you do? This one is a little bit different because now you have to combine two properties. Remember, if we look up here on the top, 3 to the 4th times 3 to the 2nd, they both have the same base. You can just add the exponents. That'd be 3 to the 6th. On the bottom, you still have 3 to the 3rd. What we just learned is that if you have the same base written as a fraction, you can subtract the exponents. Subtract 6 and 3, we get 3 to the third. All right, so this last one you're going to try, make sure though that you can combine the top exponents and the bottom before you subtract. Or maybe you could subtract first, then combine. So go ahead and take the time now to pause and try. All right, let's see how you did. There's actually two ways that you can do this equation. The first way you can do it is subtracting as you go. So I could subtract 10 minus 6 and get a to the fourth. And then here I could get a to the seventh minus 4 would get me a to the third. And then I can add those together, which would be a to the seventh. The other way you could do it is adding as you go and then subtracting. A to the 10th times a to the 7th is a to the 17th, and a to the 6th over a to the 4th is a to the 10th. Again, what we just learned, if you have the same base and written as a fraction, you can subtract. So that will be a to the 7th power. Either way would be correct. This is going to conclude our video on the quotient of powers property, so just make sure you have questions 1 through 9 completed in your notes, and then show your notes to me before you start your homework. Thanks for tuning in.